The evening air at Shen Wenlang's company was alive with chatter, laughter, and the clinking of glasses. The annual dinner party was in full swing, a showcase of success and prestige. But beneath the surface, a silent tension hummed quietly, unnoticed by all except those who knew the truth. Gao Tu, Shen Wenlang's secretary, moved gracefully among the guests, a picture of composure, yet his heart raced with emotions he had carefully hidden for years. 10 long years of unrequited love had taught him patience, taught him to endure from the shadows. He had loved Shen Wenlang since their school days, a devotion that had never waned, even as he disguised himself as a beta just to remain at his side. Gao Tu's heart carried a quiet ache. He was aware of the boundaries imposed by the world they lived in, by the hierarchy of power, and by Shen Wenlang's deeply rooted disdain for omegas. Yet he found solace in proximity. Just to be near Shen Wenlang, to serve him, to watch him in moments both mundane and grand, was enough. Gao Tu had sacrificed recognition, pride, and even honesty about his own nature, all for the sake of staying close to the man he adored. Each smile Shen Wenlang directed elsewhere, each careless word, was like a knife. Yet Gao Tu endured silently, knowing that even his hidden presence mattered. The night grew deeper, the festivities louder, and the effects of champagne and wine began to surface. Shen Wenlang, usually so poised, began to falter under the haze of alcohol. His movements slowed, his speech thickened, and a rare vulnerability flickered in his eyes. Gao Tu, standing near him, felt both fear and longing. He knew the truth of his feelings and the depth of his love, but he also understood the danger that lingered in such moments. Shen Wenlang's temper, his unpredictable nature, and his hatred for omegas were constants in their world. A world where a single misstep could lead to devastation. Then, in a haze of intoxication, Shen Wenlang pulled Gao Tu closer. Gao Tu's heart thundered in his chest, emotions colliding with instinct. He knew what was happening, knew the alpha's intentions, even before words could be formed. And yet, Shen Wenlang was oblivious to one crucial detail. He did not know that the omega in his arms, the one who had served him faithfully for years, was Gao Tu. To Wenlang, this was a fleeting, indistinct encounter, a night clouded by liquor and confusion. To Gao Tu, every second was electric, painful, and unforgettable. The omega knew exactly who he was with, and that knowledge, bittersweet and terrifying, would change his life forever. By the time the night ended, the consequences were already set in motion. Gao Tu realized he was pregnant, a silent testament to the night's events and his nature as an omega. Fear gripped him, an almost suffocating terror. Shen Wenlang had no idea, yet the man's history, his volatility, and the sharp edge of his nature made Gao Tu's mind race. He remembered the stories, the warnings, the hints of a cruelty tempered only by brilliance. And in that instant, a grim clarity took hold. Staying would be too dangerous, not only for him, but for the child he now carried. Days passed, each one filled with tension, with longing, and with silent calculations. Gao Tu approached Shen Wenlang with a careful, trembling question, testing the waters of his world, seeking to understand the depths of the alpha's response. "What would you do if your omega became pregnant?" he asked, his voice steady, but his heart pounding. Shen Wenlang's response was chilling in its clarity. Of course he would get rid of it. There was no hesitation, no warmth, only a cold, calculated certainty. That single answer ignited terror in Gao Tu's heart. He had expected volatility, perhaps even anger, but the sheer coldness, the logic of destruction, left him gasping. it became clear to Gao Tu that his unborn child was in grave danger. The alpha he had loved for a decade, the man he had served loyally, was completely unaware of the truth. Yet capable of irreversible action, there was no time for confrontation, no room for negotiation. The world as Gao Tu knew it narrowed to one grim reality. He had to leave before Shen Wenlang discovered the truth. Every second spent near Wenlang now carried the risk of catastrophe. Every glance a potential threat. So Gao Tu made a painful, decisive choice. He resigned, leaving behind the position, the proximity, and the life he had built to be near Shen Wenlang. But the Omega vanished, disappearing like a ghost into the night, taking with him the secret of the child he carried. And Shen Wenlang, left in the wake of absence, felt a strange emptiness, an unexplainable longing for the presence he had taken for granted. He searched, puzzled, yearning, unaware that the man he sought was the one he had unknowingly crossed paths with on that fateful night. The tension of unspoken truths, hidden identities, and dangerous secrets built steadily. Gao Tu's love remained steadfast, even as he fled, guided by the instinct to protect himself and his child. Shen Wenlang's ignorance of the Omega's identity created a suspense that hovered over every action, every thought, and every longing. Fans of ABO Desire are left on the edge, wondering if the truth will ever be revealed, and what the consequences of that revelation will be. As viewers, we are drawn into a narrative that balances tension, emotion, and suspense. The Omega who loves silently, the Alpha who remains unaware, and the unborn life that hangs in the balance create a storm of anticipation. Every interaction, every fleeting glance, every moment of longing carries weight. The stakes are high, and the path ahead is fraught with danger, love, and the promise of revelation. Episode 9 is a turning point. The consequences of that night, the hidden pregnancy, and the Omega's desperate choice will ripple through every interaction, every decision, and every emotion. Gao Tu's absence is felt as deeply as his presence once was, and Shen Wenlang's search for the man he cannot explain illuminates a tension that is both heartbreaking and riveting. Will the truth come to light? Can love survive deception, fear, and danger? Or will the weight of secrets and the instinct of survival tear them apart? The answers lie ahead, in the unfolding chapters of ABO Desire, where every revelation carries both risk and hope, every heartbeat both danger and longing.